Hi folks, Lou here, and I'm going to give you some examples of recent conspiracy theories and debunk them. So the first one is, they stole the election. Now keep in mind that conspiracy theories start with extreme accusations that are repeated over and over until some people believe them. In this case, that unnamed mysterious powers somehow manufactured millions of votes for Biden so that Trump lost. So we could ask, who are these guys? Who are the mysterious they? They're evidently able to fraudulently manufacture votes even in states with Republican administrations. And I want to repeat that. Even in states with Republican administrations. They managed to do this without evidence, as we'll go into in a moment. So, in the end, you might say, if they are so good, so powerful, then the conspiracy theorists don't have a hope anyway, so why bother? Why try? You might also wonder why the elected senators and representatives in those states don't want to redo the election. Kind of curious. They only want to focus on the presidential election, as though if somebody was thwarting Trump, they wouldn't also thwart all the Trumpist followers. So where's the evidence? The conspiracy theorists make wild claims, but cannot actually support any. Witnesses turn out to not be credible. What's claimed and what is shown to courts varies drastically. And because there have been 64 lawsuits in state and federal courts where the conspiracy theorists got nowhere, then we have a pretty good idea that there isn't any credible evidence. Most, if not all of the time in these 64 lawsuits, they haven't even got to trial, because you have to have credible evidence to even get to a trial. And of course that's necessary in a court of law. And this is why some election-related companies are now suing for defamation, because so many ridiculous things have been said about what they did or didn't do. So the conspiracy theorists changed the hypothesis. Remember, this is something you don't want to be doing according to Occam's razor, by adding additional hypotheses in order to make your argument hold water. In this case, they say the judges are all cowards who are somehow influenced by the mysterious, unnamed, out-of-sight bad guys. Even the Trump appointees are cowards. And at least 64 gangs of them. In other words, we add the courts to the conspiracy. Now, to me, this is kind of like how flat earthers keep adding to their conspiracy to counter those that assert that the earth is a sphere. It just goes on and on and on. It's ridiculous. Let's take another point of view. One way to debunk this is, surely Biden would get more votes, just as Hillary Clinton did, but even more so because Trump is the worst president ever by far. Ask yourself if Trump is a moral or ethical man, let alone a leader in the days of the pandemic. Not even close. But that won't convince people who think he's a good president. So I say, which is dumber, to believe the election was stolen or to believe the earth is flat? Now we have a second one, that leftists caused the Capitol insurrection and violence. This is an extraordinary example of using additional hypotheses to try to establish truth, quote unquote. Law enforcement have been arresting many of the Capitol attackers, who were caught on camera, of course. None of these, as far as I know, have turned out to be from the left or from BLM. They're rightists, they're Trumpists, they're insurrectionists. Do we believe that the left managed to cause the violence but not get caught? Are they that much smarter than the rightists? In fact, the conspiracy theorists impute next to magical powers to the opposition, that they can cause all these problems and yet not get caught at all, ever. Isn't it immensely more straightforward to think they really were Trumpists doing this? But there's nothing straightforward about conspiracy theories. especially when a conspiracy theory like this one amounts to this. 1. I wish such and such were true, because the truth is so painful. 2. So what I wish must be true. 3. I like that much better. Talk about self-centered and blind. You might want to watch my video specifically about conspiracy theories for more details. Thanks for listening.